Time now for our popular weekly cookery segment, Northern Nancy's Country Kitchen, with this week's recipe, Sherry Trifle. So Nancy, you say that you can actually add fruit to your trifle. That's not what you're going to do today, but what sort of fruit would you put into a trifle and how would you prepare it?
You would use seasonal fruit. As this is summer in England, we'd use strawberries, gooseberries, which you have to cook with sugar before you put in because they're very sour.
So would you have to prepare things like strawberries and raspberries, or would you
Strawberries and raspberries can go in as they are because they are fairly sweet. You put gooseberries in, you can put peaches in if you like, when it's not summer.
Some people
put oranges in.
Some people put canned fruit in, don't they?
Some people put canned fruit in, yes. It's a matter of taste. It's just starting to thicken up, so you have to keep stirring and let it burn. The custard is too thin, so I'm adding some extra custard powder. I've just got to mix it with a drop of milk, otherwise it will turn into lumps.
So you always mix flour or custard powder with
Milk.
With milk or water before you add it to something so that it doesn't have lumps in. So let's just have a look at that, how it's coming on after 15 minutes, and Nancy now adding extra custard powder or corn flour, in fact, if you don't have custard powder, to thicken up the recipe. And I suppose you're looking for the custard to be running off the spoon. Now, this custard is being made for the trifle that we're preparing today, but of course you can use this custard for your own purposes, just to put on fruit or a pudding or something. And of course nowadays there are some fantastic custards available fresh from the supermarket in packets.
It's coming to the boil now, so it just needs a couple of minutes stirring to make sure that the corn flour is expanded. I think that will do now, it's gone, in case it burns. I'm going to sieve it now.
And you're sieving it to get rid of any remaining bits of egg white.
Yes. See, there's a bit of custard powder that's not mixed in.
So making custard is actually a fairly complicated and time-consuming business.
I'm going to taste it to see if it's the right amount of sugar. Yes.
And how should it taste?
Very nice, sweet. I'm going to pour this on the trifle now.
So we've got the trifle mix in the bowl. Nancy's pouring the custard on top of the trifle mix so that it blends in nicely. And you're not going to mix it with it, you're just going to let it sit there on the top.
Yes. A skin will settle on the custard, so if you don't want that, you cover it with a piece of damp greaseproof paper. Here's my piece of paper. It doesn't need to be exactly the same shape as the bowl. I'm just going to put some cold water on it.
Now, why do you have to use a piece of damp greaseproof paper?
It doesn't adhere to the custard.
Oh, I see. I was going to ask why can't you add a damp tea towel, but you're actually putting the greaseproof paper right down on the surface of the custard itself.
Yes.
And that stops it from forming a skin, I suppose, because we've got all that full cream milk in and eggs. And yes, no one wants a custard skin in the middle of their trifle, do they?
Some people sprinkle sugar over the top, which is do the same effect. That has to cool now. Then I put the cream on top. But
And what sort of cream are you going to use?
I'm going to use double cream.
Got some cream from Longley Farm, which is a local Yorkshire farm famous for its beautiful thick cream.
Recently visited by the Queen.
Are you going to be whipping that cream, Nancy, or are you going?
Yes, I'm going to whip it.
We'll join you later when you're a bit further advanced with your trifle.
I'm going to leave the trifle in the fridge to cool, and I shall leave it overnight. This is the cream to put on top of the trifle which we made yesterday. There it is. It's full cream from one of the local dairies.
And how much
there's
are you
250 grams in there.
Okay. So this is the cream that you're going to put on top of the trifle?
Yes, as you can see, it's very thick. And although I'm going to whisk it, I think it will not take very long to put on the trifle.
Now, how do you know when the cream is ready?
They can see the beaters standing up in the cream.
Now, if you don't have an electric mix, I don't have one myself, how do you
I do it
beat
by
the
hand, and by hand, with a hand whisk.
And it takes a lot longer, I imagine.
It takes a lot longer, and not only that, it makes your arm ache.
So the advice is, if you're going to do this regularly, invest in an electric whisk.
Yes.
Scraping off all the bits of cream now off the whisk, which of course some people would lick off, but
I wouldn't waste this delicious cream.
so 250 grams of cream whipped up, and that's ready now to go on the trifle. So we've got the trifle now, the one that we put in the fridge yesterday with that piece of greaseproof paper on to stop the skin forming on the custard. And you're just going to put that cream now on top of the trifle.
Yes, and here I am taking off the greaseproof paper. Here's the cream going on.
Looks very fattening.
It's extremely fattening.
But very delicious, and all made of homemade ingredients, homemade custard, cream, cake, sherry, marmalade, and Cointreau. Orange juice as well. So this is a Northern English trifle for a special occasion, and today it's a friend coming round for tea.
Birthday tea.
Yes, well, no wonder. I always feel how delicious things are when I have one of your trifles.
This is the finishing touch.
What's that?
These are Italian ratified biscuits.
Ratafias. Is that how you say it? Macaroon biscuits.
Yes.
And you can just buy those from the supermarket. And these are for decoration?
Decoration, edible decoration.
So you could really put any kind of biscuit that you like on top of a trifle.
Any decoration.
Yes, and I suppose it does look a bit plain with just that cream and custard. And here we have Northern Nancy's special sherry trifle for a birthday tea. Thank you, Nancy.
Yes.
Okay, because
You have to.
which is your better side?
Okay.
So she turned round and looked at the wall.
I'm gone,
Oh,
Stella.
that's not fair.
Oh.
Okay, and here we are. Helen's arrived for tea.
Hello.
Hello, Helen. And we're going to have the trifle and the chocolate cake, which we saw being made earlier in the last two programmes. So Nancy, how are you feeling about how the way things are turning out?
Full.
Full. Yes, well in fact we got so excited we forgot to video the eating of the trifle, but here we go, here it is. And Helen, what did you think about the trifle?
It was stupendous, actually. The mixture of flavours were perfect.
Perfect.
The soft and the crunchy are blended together.
And Michael, how did you find the trifle?
Well, I'm a bit fed up because I had to wait to have another helping for this blessed filming.
Black magic woman.